All right, so first and foremost, no, I did not trade the S2000. Everybody always forgets that I have an SI. I have an SI. I traded the SI. And I kind of really didn't expect to do this trade. I didn't think it would happen. This is technically my second attempt to get a Type R. Although the first one I should have known better, because it wasn't. I hadn't even made it a year into the loan payment for the SI, and because of my credit not being the best, I needed a full year. Now, my credit has jumped 2 or 3 big times since when I bought the SI. So my credit's remarkably more improved than it was initially. And of course, I've made perfect payments on my car, so that helps. So Honda's been emailing me for a while, like, hey, bring in your SI as a popular car for us to sell. So bring in your SI, we'll hook you up. I was like, yeah, whatever, bullshit. I was like, and so I sent them an email back, like, look, man, I'm not interested in anything you all have except for Type R. And I periodically check, like once or twice a month, I check and see if they got any R's, just, for shits and giggles. And they don't have them. They rarely have them. So the lady hits me up. She goes, we got 3 Type R's in stock, and I was like, hey, look, this is what's going on with the money and everything where I'm at. I just made a big investment in another car, so I can't do a big-ass down payment for another car. He's like, just come in, we'll see where it's at. Of course, that's what they always say. Just come in. They want to run your credit anyway and see what they can do. So I went in, sat down, we started crunching numbers. My actual monthly payment is high as fuck, but my interest is now pretty low. It's the lowest I've ever paid on any car that I've owned, and with a guarantee to refinance down to 4% next year. All right, so first off about the car itself, is this is a touring package, right? So the price tag on this motherfucker was $45,000. So when I heard that, I was at a heart attack. I was like, 45,000. That's a lot more than I was expecting. That's a lot more than I want to pay for a Honda. Like, I'd rather go buy a Corvette. But whatever. I was in the seat, and they're already saying, like, asking me how much I could do down, and I'm like, I don't really want to do a big ass down payment or whatnot. I can't. So he uses wizardry and magic to talk me into giving $2,000, and then they use my extended warranty and shit off the SI and my gap to refund to bring it down to, or bring my total down payment to $4,700. And then they rolled over my new gap and extended warranty into the new deal, so I didn't have to pay anything extended on top of that. Again, wizardry to crunch the numbers, roll them around, and make it do what they need to do for me to be able to get the car. And then so I took it on a test drive, and I think, okay, the guy's just trying to kill time or whatever. And noticeably different over the SI. Like, the seat bolstering, of course, is much better. It's a much tighter experience. For me, it seems like that the shifter, just looking at the shifter, it doesn't look like it's much higher, but it definitely feels taller, and it's a lot more notchy. The biggest noticeable difference immediately is the braking. Of course, big-ass Brembo brakes. The braking is a lot more sensitive. And then as far as, the driving itself, I did a pool. And the pool I did, I think it was like a 2-year stretch. And I was like, okay, it's definitely more powerful than the SI. It's a lot more responsive than the SI. It's a lot more throttle sensitive, and you get more pull. Even in higher gear, when you just step on the gas, you're definitely making more power. The biggest thing I like about the Type R so far, in the immediate first impressions over the SI, is the fact that, like I've mentioned before, that my biggest complaint for the SI was the body roll it had. Like, once you started getting 90 plus miles an hour, the car got really sketchy. It felt like it would flip over. So I actually wound up doing a pull, getting onto the highway, merging, and I got up into the 90s, and I didn't even realize I was there because it was so seamless. Like, the only thing I've ever driven like that moves so simple, is this. And as a matter of fact, to be 100% honest, the SI handles even better than this thing does. Like, that's where the advantage of this being a legit sports car comes into play. Like, this thing is built for high speed. So, like, it's going to be a month or so before I can really give my full impressions on it, because I got to get to learn the car, got to, know what I can do with it, and really get a feel of it, and really push it to its limits before I can give 100% accurate description of what's going on here. But just my first take immediately, like, a bunch of check boxes. Now, is this fast enough where it's going to be like, holy shit? No, definitely not. But it's definitely more noticeably faster than the SI. I definitely feel like I'm not going to have to worry about, regular everyday mom and pop fucking sedans fucking with me anymore. That's not going to be anything. So like I didn't really, I picked my battles well in the SI. I didn't really race the SI. I never downshifted and raced anybody like that. It was only like encounters in traffic with people speeding and trying to get around me, shit like that, where I would go. But the SI was one of those cars that, like, I would haul ass, give it full throttle, hitting the red line and everything, and I would look in the mirror and people would be like right there, and that would be frustrating. I don't think that this is going to be a problem with the Type R. I think that the stretch is going to be there. I don't think the gap is going to be open. It's enough noticeable power where I don't think that that's going to be an issue anymore. But it's definitely not enough power where I'm out here like, oh, I'm fucking the king of the streets. I'm going to beat up everybody. And now, as far as what you guys are thinking about modifications or whatnot, no. Same thing with the SI. I played with the SI. I said I wasn't going to modify it. And the whole year I had that fucking car, I didn't. Now, did I play with the idea of modding it? Yes, I did. But every time I came close to pulling a trigger, I've always backed off. That's probably going to be the same with the Type R. Now, the difference between the Type R and the SI is this is a car that I want to keep. Like, I don't see me trading this car out. So hopefully I pay the car off and I just keep it. And then maybe once I own it down the road, maybe then would I consider modifying the car. But you have to understand, guys, like, this is going to be the fast car, and that one's going to be a fast car, and I have plans for faster ones. And of course, as the money comes, I can do these things. I'm mad close to being able to get the power out of the S2K that I want. So if I really want to fucking go fast, I'll just drive that car. I want to have a moderately fast sedan that I can drive around my family and have fun in, but not be crazy, still be good on gas mileage. And I also want my own car to be fast. So I've always said before, like years ago in the past, I liked having the Del Sols. Like, if I'm gonna have my ridiculously fast car, better to have it in a car that I'm only gonna be driving myself in, and so I won't have the temptation to do anything crazy. And this to be fast enough to not be boring and still comfortable and be able to take the family out on road trips or whatnot. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I'm not gonna really do a walk around for the car. You guys know what these fucking things look like by now. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, this definitely hit the bank account. So right now, guys, you're seeing I put a list up on Instagram for things I have. I have two CSS K24 block, or I have a K20 and a K24 high horsepower CSS block. Those are, they're rated for 900 horsepower. I have two of those. I'm willing to take two 750 shipped. I have an RBB head that's built with 85-pound springs, fresh rebuild, 0 miles on it. I'm willing to take a 750 on that as well, I think. And then like I have an RBC K20 head that's also built with 95-pound springs, fresh rebuild, 0 miles. I'm willing to take 1,000 on, shipped. And this is one of those things, guys, where it's gonna be a limited thing, a limited offer. I just want to recover the money I just dropped on the deposit. If I can make that money back, I'm happy as fuck. So once that happens, I'm not. This is not going to be a permanent sell thing. It's gonna, if the month goes out and my bank account recovers and whatever doesn't sell, it's gonna go back up to its regular price. But I kind of hope it does sell, because I want to move this shit out of my house. I want to make space, and I've did my little test on keeping inventory. It's not a worthwhile thing to do. I'm not gonna do that anymore. So just want to get that stuff moved out and be done with it already. Take my L on it, because I'm offering to sell you guys this stuff at like cost. It's not even really, because the CSS block, the CSS installation for high horsepower is like $420 plus shipping there, plus shipping back, and the cost of the block. So you guys are getting a fucking steal. I wouldn't sleep. Same thing with the head. The head costs like $85 to clean. You got the cost of the head itself, then the cost of the springs retainer kit, and then the cost of the valve seals, cost of the keepers. You're pretty much getting it for the cost of like the basic stuff. All right, guys, so thanks for watching, and I will be making content based on this soon, and maybe S2000 as well, I don't know. But my tags are expired on this fucking thing now, so I can't really just go drive it. And because I'm dealing with the cost of this, it's going to be a while before I can renew and insure everything properly. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Peace.